Hey guys, what's going on? It's Talk Forest TV. We are back with another fan time for the big game on Saturday. We have got Simon from the Ramswriter podcast. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on.
It's right. So how's it been this summer at Derby? I can imagine it's been a fun time, especially with everything with Mel Morris.
It's been different. I think with obviously everything that's gone off with there's been an embargo, not really be able to sign many players, even though we've managed to get players in. I think we've done all right, and I think our expectations are a bit lower than normal. So actually going back to the football has actually been it's actually been a nice experience because we haven't got any expectations. If we win, we win. Happy days. If we lose, yeah, oh well, never mind. It's been a bit of relief, to be honest.
Yeah, I can imagine if we weren't able to go to the football, especially with COVID, it would have been a lot more worse off, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, you guys signed Raffle Morrison, haven't you, like this last couple of weeks?
Yes, we have. That was a very good signing for us. Him, Phil Jagielka, and Sam Baldock have all come in to help strengthen over the last 2 weeks now. So, yeah, big signings for us. They are. At the end of the day, Derby, we need numbers in at the moment. So it's not great, but it's working, whatever it is. So it's better than what you guys are doing at the minute, anyway.
Yeah, we seem to. Don't know. It's like we lost to Coventry like last minute. Then Bradford, it was quite a different level, but our academy seemed to like shown through. Then last couple of results, it's been like not even had a shot on target. So I don't know what's happening.
Sounds like us last season. That does, mate. It really does. That's what we couldn't score. Couldn't get shots on target. Even struggled to have shots at times. It's not nice to watch, but it is if you're a Derby fan, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I seen a lot worse at Forest. Well, it's fun times. I mean, last couple of times between Forest and Derby, it's only been in draw. So I don't know what your expectations are.
Oh, you can't. It's one of them, isn't it? It's literally. I mean, obviously, you guys are struggling to score at the minute. Like I say, we've just discussed. You're not getting shots at the minute. Whereas we seem to be able to score one goal, and that's about it. So it's a tough one to call. But we all know that form goes out the window in these games. It doesn't matter if you're on a 5-game losing streak or not. When it comes to Derby County versus Nottingham Forest, that's it. All bets are off. You can't call it. It's so hard to call.
I mean, Forest shown that over quite a few times over the last couple of years. Forest been on like a really bad run, and when it does come to Forest Derby, it's like Forest seem to pull one out the bad. How I don't know, but Forest always seem to pull up front, so it's quite the form book does actually go out the window.
Yeah, I don't think we've not beaten you now in 8 games. So this is, for me, is the perfect time to put this right. Obviously, you guys struggling at the bottom of the table, no points at the minute. You got thrashed on Wednesday by Wolves. Confidence seemed low. You don't seem to have any confidence in Chris Hughton at all. So for me, Derby have got nothing to lose at the minute at all. This season, we've just now been. It's just come out literally about an hour ago that we could potentially be looking at a 9-point deduction from the AFL. So now this game for us gets bigger because this is now a must-win game. If we've got a points deduction coming, we've got to win every game. So I feel that we would go out and we would give everything, and to get the victory. No disrespect, but this is. I don't think this will be a normal Derby Forest game. This will be Derby versus whoever. It doesn't matter. We'll go out and put everything on because we need that win more than ever now.
Yeah, I seen that. I did see the tweet about that when I was flicking through Twitter, and I mean that this saga between Derby and the EFL seemed to be like never ending.
It doesn't, and you know what? We've got fans that are blaming the EFL, fans that are sort of blaming Mel Morris, but at the end of the day, the both parties are in some way to blame. Me, I'm not the biggest fan of Mel Morris. I've made that pretty clear when I do my podcast. I'm not, but the way we should not be in this situation. No club really should be in this situation where you're into your another season. You've been under a transfer embargo for what, 2 years now. You've been in and out of court battles. You've lost, and ultimately now you've not put your accounts in. And that's for, obviously we know that some accounts need resubmitting, but you've not put 2 years worth of accounts in. It's basic business practice. HMRC bills hasn't been paid. Again, basic business practice. So we can say, oh yeah, stick it to the AFL all we like. But again, at the end of the day, this lies on Mel Morris for getting us in this situation. People say, oh yeah, well he spent money, he spent his own money and all this. Well, that's fine. But surely when we happen to sell our stadium so we don't breach FFP, that has alarm bells ringing saying, wang about, we've obviously overspent it. It was always going to catch up with us regardless. So it's, I just, at the moment, my only fear at the minute is if we do well on the pitch, it is distracting us from, the cock up behind the scenes and all the antics off the pitch, and it takes the pressure off Mel Morris to get this sorted. And it's very difficult because obviously, especially against you guys, we want to go out there and we want to spank you across the park, come away with the 3 points. But what that then does is makes us feel like, well, actually, what, we're not, there's nothing going off. We're fine as a club. Look, we don't need any more players. Yes, we do need players because we are so paper thin. If we get another injury, that's it. We have to call up another youngster who may not be ready. Yes, we've got good academy lads. Yes, they are good, but they're not. For me, some of them aren't ready to be playing, 46 games a season, championship games a season, because it's a tough level.
I mean, Forest, I completely agree. I mean, Forest, we're not in a situation what you guys are, but we're kind of relying on, we kind of gone from like really big squad to like really, not a thin squad, but a squad with probably 17, 18, first team players. So we do completely agree with that one. And I mean, Wednesday night we played most of our academy lads against Wolves. I mean, I think the average age for like 22.5.
Yeah.
Against a Wolves side with like 93.8 million or something, it was said. You're always going to get found out. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I read a tweet earlier as well saying that when you mentioned about Derby hadn't beat Forest in 8 games, they'd on this one, I think it was around 50 years ago or something.
Yeah.
But it was 9. So I can imagine you guys are going to be pumped up for the game, especially with the 9-point deduction that could come.
Yeah, it will be. This is everything. We know as fans that this game for us is, it's the first fixture we look for at the start of every season when the fixture comes out when we're playing Forest. It's weird that it's come quite early this season, but it doesn't mind. Like I say, I think now is actually a really good time to play you guys, and this 9-point deduction hanging over us. Obviously, they're in negotiations about it. It could be dropped down to 6. We just don't know. Again, this is the problem with our club at the minute. The fans know nothing. Mel or whoever is supposed to speak to, the press and whatnot, don't say a thing. Even Wayne Rooney's stopped now saying that. He's basically saying, "I don't know. You need to talk to Mel," because he doesn't know anything, and it's getting beyond a joke, and it's a lot of frustration from the fans. And at the moment, the only thing that's keeping us going is the performances on the pitch, which have been a lot better than last season. We obviously got a draw last week against Middlesbrough, tough game. I think we did enough to win it, to be honest. But when we play games like against you guys that down the bottom of the league, no points, they're the games that at the moment we have to win. These are must-win games for us. And the Rooney will know that. The players will know that. And obviously with it being the first one as well with fans back, it will be. I don't know how many are going to be at Pryor Park tomorrow. I can't see it being a full house because again, something else that we can't seem to manage is getting our tickets sorted out. So it's just again, it's little things like this that just build up. But there will still be, there'll be over 20,000 there. I'm convinced there will be. So it will be rocking tomorrow. And the players will, they'll hopefully feed off that. And hopefully we can put you guys off a little bit. We can, be a bit sort of intimidating, I guess. It's one of them, isn't it? When you're a player that's not got much confidence and you come into a packed Pride Park Stadium, knowing the pressure's on you because you're gonna have, you'll bring a lot of fans as well. You always do. Knowing the pressure's on you to try and get that win, and it could go any way, but I'm hoping it goes the Derby County way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we got taken around 2,500 or something in that region, and then we sold that near enough straight away, and not even got to that season ticket holders. And then, yeah, I mean, I've been Derby twice actually. When we won 1-0 when Bobby Earnshaw scored, and when we lost 1-0, I think it was Olsen scored or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been a while ago, but yeah, I mean, there have been quite a few like memorable moments in Forest Derby games over the years with Savage with the Star fan comment scoring. Tyson with the flag.
I was going to say that, Tyson with the flag. One of my, I got where I work. I work with a lot of Nottingham Forest fans. You see, so I am destined to get stick on Tuesday when I'm back at work if we lose. So, but yeah, you remind of that, Tyson. Yeah, I mean, they're right. You know, there has been. You know, we've had some good games at Pryor Park, especially over the last few years. You know, I look back at the 3-0. There was the 2-0 as well, the 5-0. You know, so. I just think, you know, whoever scores first, I think will win the game, because if Derby score first, if Derby can get an early goal, score first, I think Forest confidence will drop and their heads will drop, and then the crowd, you guys will get straight on their backs, because they don't want to be walking away from Pryor Park with again with nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's been really toxic ground at the minute against Hughton, and it's been really like. It's not been a nice place to go at the minute, unfortunately. Even though it'd been nice to be back at the City Ground. I mean, especially for you guys being back at Pryor Park. Imagine that with everything what's going off, it's nice to be back. But first to be back, it's like we don't know what to get or like don't know what to like get from the atmosphere. So yeah. I do think on Saturday it's normally seems like whoever scores first normally get the win or draw, so it will be a very big match. So I do think as well if Forest do win, it could change their season. So it will be a very interesting game. Even for you guys, if you guys win, it could be, especially if you guys get the point deduction, it might keep you up above the relegation zone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I look at it this way. I mean, like I say, I speak to a lot of Forest fans that I work with, and they all think if you guys lose, if we beat you on Saturday, then Chris Hughton's gone. Which, you know, you had this situation before with Stuart Pearce, and you're thinking, well, if Derby beat you, he'll be gone, and then you end up beating us in the last minute Ben Osborne goal, and it would just, I think it is on a knife edge like that, you know. So. But again, if you know, even if you do beat us, it could obviously put you on a run. Confidence is up. We're just beating our local rivals, or it could just be one of them games where we have won, but now we've gone back into a song. So it just prolongs the agony. I mean, obviously, you know, you watch Forest week in week out. You know, what are you thinking of Chris Hughton? You know, is he on thin ice?
I reckon to be honest with you, I thought he might have done last week. I had a bit of a gut feeling thinking he might have done last week, but it's one of them ones where I think if we do lose, I think he might be gone because it gives the new manager that international break to like work with the new players. But then I think if we win, then I think he might get an extra game, might not even get a game. So I think he is on very thin ice. And with our owner, it's like it's got a bit of a track record anyway for sacking managers, especially at Olympiacos.
He's worse than Mel Morris.
So you never know what's gonna happen.
I know it's. I think it could be a defining moment in your season on Saturday. I really do. You know, I think regarding Derby again, for us, you know, we're 2 unbeaten on the, you know, in the league now, and I just think if we can get the victory, we can start picking up some momentum, hopefully, you know, and hopefully we can climb the table, you know, because then now we need to get as many points as we can. You know, we don't know when this points deduction is going to hit us, you know, so for us it's a massive game, as you know, not just because of it's a rivalry, you know, it's Forest Derby, you know. Sky Sports make a massive deal out of it because of the history that we've got between each other, the managers and everything like that. but it's now a massive game for us because we need points. And like you said before, we could if we get 3 points, that could be the difference between us staying up and going down.
Yeah, massive difference. What do you think scoreline will be?
Oh God,
And
I'm convinced it's going to be like a 0-0 or a 1-0 to Derby. that's what I'm going for. I don't think we're going to see like a 3-1 or 2-1 or anything like that. I just think Derby Forest games have been really, really tight, and obviously you've been as a couple of times 1-0. We've then drawn 1-1 the last couple of games. You guys taking the lead first and late winners from Kazim Richards, and then obviously Chris Martin scored his first goal against Forest finally, and it was actually his last goal for Derby. But so I do think it will still be a tight game, but I just think there'll be. I'm to be honest, what I want is a heated game. Yeah. Because we've not had one of them games for a while now where we're getting challenges going in, you know what I mean, and players looking like they hate each other. And I know that sounds bad, but that's what Forest and Derby to fans is. You have that day where you hate each other that day.
Yeah.
I work with a load of them. We don't hate each other, but on that day, I want nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I want on the pitch, because the fans will give each other stick for 90 minutes. So I want the players to give each other stick for 90 minutes.
Always remember it. I mean, I'm sat saying I know quite a few Derby fans, and we always give each other a bit of banter, like up to Derby, then throughout the day. And I mean, I always remember the last time when the place was scrapping was I think it was Matt Mills. I think he pushed Kia onto the floor. I always remember it. That probably the last time I seen a tasty Forest Derby. To be fair.
I think there was one as well. I think there was Bradley Johnson and I think it might have been Ben Osborne had a bit of a kerfuffle on the floor as well. A couple under under Gary Rowett, I think it was, and it's just like that's what you want. You want when you're a manager, you should not need to say much at all. You shouldn't have to get your players fired up for a local derby. They should be automatically be fired up and go out on that pitch. I'm looking at the likes of Louis Sibley. If he doesn't get a yellow card tomorrow, I'll be bitterly disappointed because he gets yellow carded almost every game. I'm looking at the likes of him to step up. I'm looking at the likes of Graham Shinney, again, another one who likes a challenge, won't phase from a challenge so I can see some tackles going in tomorrow. And as long as they're fair and clean, and that goes both ways as well. If your guys want to put a tackle on one of our guys, and it's clean and fair, but it's hard, then so be it. That's what it's about. That's what the Forest Derby rivalry is all about. And that's why we love football.
Yeah, I mean, I put my money on Ryan Yatesy to do that because he's like a yellow card merchant all day long.
Well, yeah, he normally tries to stir up some stuff. He does, So I agree with that. But I just think it's going to be a weird. I think it's just weird because. The last few seasons, one of us has been doing well, the other not so well. Yeah. Obviously, it was role reversed last season. Not last season, but you guys were doing really well before, obviously, doing a derby and bottling it. Sorry, but it's true.
It's true.
So with us both being sort of unsure of what's going on, where we lie, and everything, I just think it's going to have. It hopefully could produce a really good game, but I still think it'll be a tight game. But I do think though, if Derby can get an early goal, then I think we could be looking at a couple of goals. Then that's the only way I would think there'll be quite a few goals is if Derby can get an early goal, because what generally happens is, no offense to you guys, but you do this. If you get an early goal against us, you just sit back and defend for the rest of the game, and it's just boring. It just absolutely drains the fun out of the game.
We have been doing that quite a lot. We did it against Coventry. We've got back to winning 1-0, sat back for like 70 minutes, and it's just completely backfired. We tried doing it against Bradford as well. We went 2-0 up and sat back, and nearly cost us, to be fair. And when we got 1-0 against Bournemouth, we scored. They went down to 10 men, and then they scored, and we just. It took Hughton to around 80 minutes to actually change it and went to up top. And it was like, why couldn't we done it like 10 minutes earlier?
Yeah. For me, Chris Hughton, a lot of people wanted Chris Hughton to come to Derby. I'm sort of one of them when, well, he got sacked from Brighton because his style of football, it wasn't adjusting to the modern game. He seems a bit of a dinosaur, when it comes to management. And you guys watch it, you have to put with him week in, week out. Surely, are you enjoying, even last season, were you enjoying watching Nottingham Forest play football?
Not really. I mean, it's shut up shop, which we needed, but going forward, I think we're like the least scoring team in the league. I think we're like 23rd in like all the attacking options, so it weren't the best to watch football. I mean, I did a show last night, and they were saying that we only won 7 games this year, so we're not in that much confidence in terms of winning.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Everything again, like everything rides on this for us. Everything will ride on it for you. I mean, obviously, I saw that there was a tweet that came out, which was supposedly a text from Lyle Taylor, WhatsApp. That didn't look very promising. He looked like he'd been fed up with the manager, didn't really want to play, fed up with some of his players. So it just if that's what the mood's like in the camp tomorrow, it could just see him roll over and go. Well, Saturday, could see him just roll over and go. Yeah, not really bothered. I'd rather you got the sack, to be honest.
Yeah, that came out and nothing had been said about it from the club. It's been really quiet. So I think when he came on Tuesday, he got a couple of views, but for doing it, it's been real unsure. And I mean, if we do lose, I can see Saturday night, Sunday, Hughton being gone.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say thank you for Simon for coming on to the show.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me on.
That's right. I'd like to say thank you for watching, guys.